Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. I'm going to be reviewing my absolute favorite movie of all time, and it's called Finding Forrester, and it's going to be a spoiler-free review. This movie stars Rob Brown and Sean Connery as the two leads of this movie. You also have great support actors and actresses. Anna Paquin, you got Michael Pitt, you got Busta Rhymes, and a couple others that you might recognize. Now, this movie is not a movie that has garnered a lot of attention, but it still is a very well put together movie with only two problems with the editing. There were a couple scenes that were not put together well, or actually they were shifts to two different scenes that the cutting just felt a bit rushed. Now, other than those two objective flaws, I would say, objectively speaking, that this movie is a 4.5 out of 5. Now, this movie is not for everyone, but subjectively I give this movie a 5 out of 5. It is very well done in my opinion. It's not perfect, but it is very well done. And there are lessons to be learned from this movie. One of the lessons I learned is humility, and a couple other lessons are, don't ever judge a person by what they look like, how they act, and until you get to know them, you can't really judge them, or you can't really know who they are. And this movie expresses that in such a beautiful way. Now, this movie was done in 2001, and it was done well. It's one of Sean Connery's best performances, in my opinion. And I have seen a lot of Sean Connery's works. I mean, back in high school, during my senior year, we had an assignment where if you could introduce anybody speaking at your school, who would it be? And I chose Sir Sean Connery, because he is one of my favorite actors. In fact, he is my favorite actor, because the man has such wisdom in his roles that he plays them just so freaking well. Now, again, this movie is basically sort of an intellectual movie. It's about a genius kid who finds a reclusive writer, and while their meeting at first is very rocky, it develops into something much more and greater. And this movie takes you on an adventure that's not action-packed, flashy explosions or CG or any of that stuff that we have nowadays, and which is too much in my opinion. It's a movie that has a modest budget, and I think it should have done very well. I hope it actually does. I'm going to have to check it out later, what its earnings were. But honestly, this is one of the greatest movies that I have ever seen. And as a movie reviewer, I have seen quite a few. Now, I'm not going to say any more of what I have said about the movie, because I want every one of my subscribers to see this movie. If you have Amazon Prime, you can rent it, maybe even buy it. If you want a hard copy, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. But I do ask that you see this movie, because it's definitely a movie to see. And that is going to wrap up my review. It's a spoiler-free. I didn't want to tell you too much, because this movie is something that I want everybody to see, because everybody will take something different away from this movie. And I'm curious to know what people do take away from it in the comment section below. So that is going to be the video, folks. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know what you have taken away from watching this movie. Let me know what you have, or what this movie meant to you. Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.